Hey, everybody. What's going on? What's hot? What's hip? What's happening? What is shaking on your Thursday night? Hope it's a good one for you. Tonight, of course, it's the internet sensation that's sweeping the nation. Overrated, underrated on the Tom Gulley Show. We'll get to that in a little while. Of course, like, share, subscribe, notification bell, retweet, all that stuff you can do for free. That will support the almighty algorithm, the all-powerful algorithm. We do have memberships and super chats if you want to avail yourself of those. We do have a goal every night, because that's supposedly what you're supposed to do, which is any amount of money. And then please turn on your gifted membership. Some people gift them in here, and if they do, you will get a free gifted membership. So why not? Why not? Jean1313 is in the house. She says, hi, Tom. Hello, Jean1313. Good to see you. Nothing happened to me today. Absolutely nothing to speak of that I can recall of interest whatsoever. Normally have no, nothing. No, it's all repeats. It's all just Coke, Oreo, zero. Hoping something happened to one of you people. Drove the Jag. That's about it. So, let's see here. Joker got stuck at the train tracks today. Boo-hoo. I used to live in Muncie, Indiana, and there's like, there's like 10 different train tracks that cross and go across the town and stuff. And so there were never any bank robberies there, because that's the local myth, was that they were unsure of being able to get out of town because you got stopped by trains all the time there. All the time. Gene says, I got a can of that on the fence. You mean you're debating, or you just put it out there and you're going to shoot it with a BB gun? Or, hey, by the way, by the by again, I do have something. The things I do for this show that I just completely forget about. SG Fanboy says, today's my day off. I spent a few hours sharpening pocket knives. Man, there's something really satisfying about sharpening a pocket knife. I've got, of course, sharpening stones, but I also have this thing it's literally 5 feet from me. I should go get it. But it's this thing, it's got a gripper and then a thing at the top that you pull the knives through. It also sharpens. It's pretty cool. But I do have something here. This is a concert t-shirt. I think you should have. You've seen them. From the Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band Tunnel of Love tour. This has to be, it can't be from the 90s. It's got to be from the late 80s. And look at the collar, John. I saw John today on something. I don't know if it was a replay or whatever, but his collar looked like somebody was, hanging from it to avoid falling off of a skyscraper. But once again, so this has to be, look, I'll be generous. I'll say 1990. This would be a 34-year-old t-shirt. I'm just saying, look at the colors on the shirt and the pattern and the print. I'm just saying. Let me see I'll just see when the album Tunnel of Love came out. We'll just do that. The tour had to be right after or right before, so. Darkness, what was it? What was the big hit off of that one? Well, Tunnel of Love was a big hit. Tunnel of Love, studio album by Bruce Springsteen. 1987 it was released. So, there you go, John. Once again, my collar That's my thing. Joker saw Bruce in '85. Don't have the shirt anymore. '85. That'd be very close to the Born in the USA era, which was obviously an amazing time for us Bruce Springsteen fans. That was when Bruce became accepted by the greater population. I mean, there were tons of Springsteen fans, but Bruce was our special thing, because a lot of people didn't get him, and wasn't a lot of commercial airplay. But Born in the USA came out, and then it was like, see. So, yep, Born in the USA tour. That was a goodie. Right in the heart of the MTV thing and all the good videos. And that's when he was married to Julia Phillips, who was in I'm on Fire, I think, the video. Didn't show her face. She was... Gene1313 said, look at the size of John's head. No shirt can stay in shape. Gene makes a good point. That trash can sized head going through any hole like that is liable to wreck it. He may have to grease up the sides of his head to get him through there. Overrated. What, Springsteen? Springsteen overrated? I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Seen an awful lot of 4-hour concerts out of that dude. Don't recall seeing anybody leaving. Hey man, if you don't like him, you just don't like him. But he's without question one of the greatest live acts ever in rock history. I remember taking, it was when I got this shirt. My girlfriend at the time, the great love of my life, she took me to Michael Jackson, and I forget which album it was off of. It might have been after, at the end of the whole Thriller thing. Maybe not, though. I just remember it was good. I liked it a lot. We were a little bit far away from the stage, but tremendous light show, lasers, all that stuff. And like the next week, was within the next 10 days, the next week to 10 days, I took her to see Springsteen because Michael Jackson was her guy. And only we were sitting like very close to the stage. And it was the Tunnel of Love. It was opened like a carnival. And all the members of Bruce and all the members of the E Street Band had to go through a ticket taker to get onto the stage. It was amazing. So we watch. We're about let's say we're about 45 minutes into this thing, and she just turns to me, and her eyes are as big as saucers. She goes, "Oh my God, this is incredible!" So the concert goes on another hour, maybe 45 minutes, and the band all walks off the stage, and she gets her purse, and she's getting ready to leave. I said, "Where are you going?" She's like, "Well, that's it. It's over, right?" And I'm like, that was the first part of the concert. Then they come back out. They play another hour and a half, and then they come out and do like a half hour, 45-minute encore. And each time I had to go, no, they're not done. And all the way on the back to the car, I said, "Look, Michael was good, but do you see why I was saying?" She said, "I do see now." Yes, I do see. Jokerfish says, "Was listening to the Ghost of Tom Joad today." Yeah, there's a few. Springsteen got into this kind of working man's plight ballad. I like it, but I don't like it as much as some other things that he's done. I mean, I can listen to the Nebraska album, but after I listen to the Nebraska album, I just want go live in a cardboard box or something. I mean, it's really depressing. Bob Marley opened for Bruce in New York City. That's pretty cool. I think it was either Anne Murray or Helen Reddy. Let's say it was Helen Reddy that they came to Bruce and said, we'd like Bruce to open for Helen Reddy. And Bruce's people are like, Bruce doesn't open for people. Why not? Because he plays for 4 hours. And they insisted and came up with a bunch of dough. And man, them Helen Reddy fans, they just didn't want to stay up till midnight to hear her sing Snowbird. It just didn't happen. All right, I think it's that time, ladies and gentlemen. One of the many things I love about doing Overrated, Underrated is the fact that I don't have to open up my thing. And I'm sure you people appreciate that as well. Overrated, Underrated, the internet sensation that's sweeping the nation. I give you our first item on Overrated, Underrated this evening. That item actually is a person. And that person is Tom Cruise. Overrated or underrated? I put it to you. While you're logging your opinions, I'll just tell you that Tom Cruise's early career, he made the same movie like 5 movies in a row. You know, what was it, All the Right Moves or something? Young, hotshot, upstart football player bucks the system and finally wins in the end. Top Gun, young, hotshot, upstart naval pilot bucks the system and wins in the end. Days of Thunder, young, upstart, hotshot NASCAR driver bucks the system and wins in the end. A Few Good Men, young, hotshot, upstart naval lawyer bucks the system and wins in the end. So I wasn't a big fan of Tom Cruise. Then he starts doing all these crazy things. The jumping on the couch and whatnot, whatever. In the last 5 to 10 years, I have come around on Tom Cruise massively. And the reason why, there's a couple of reasons why. I've seen a lot of the coverage of how hard he works on these movies and what he's willing to do to make them as awesome as possible. Hanging on the sides of planes. He's a Hollywood movie star. He's a rich boy. He didn't have to do that, but he does it. So his work ethic, everybody says he works really hard. Everybody always says he's super nice to everyone. I don't care if he's a Scientologist. That's a thing, you know, that you don't find in Hollywood and a lot of Hollywood sets. You can't even talk to the actors. And he talks to everybody, and he's one of those guys. Now, the last reason I've come around on Tom Cruise. Okay. I think his first wife was Mimi Rogers, who many of you don't know who she is. She, by far, is his hottest wife. If I could pick from his wives, because, you know, that's likely to happen, that would be my first pick. Then he marries Nicole Kidman. She ain't no slouch either. And then Katie, whatever. Tip of the cap. So that's why. SG Fanboy considers Tom Cruise way overrated. Gene says he's overrated. Gene also says he's a crazy cult member. I don't require my actors and actresses or musicians to be anything other than, I mean, they've always been a little nutty, right? Jokerfish says, Tom Cruise is from a couple towns away from my hometown. Guys from his town said he was quiet and really good in school plays. I imagine he was pretty good in school plays. Rumpled Trenchcoat said, I like his movies, but he's given so many accolades, I almost have to say he's overrated by default. Yes, but here's the thing. I don't believe ever given an Academy Award. And at this point, I think in Hollywood, there are very few Tom Hanks, a guy who's critically acclaimed and his movies do gigantic box office. Tom Cruise at this juncture, I think, is a movie star. And he's going to have to pick just the right role to get an Academy Award. Let's see here. Overrated, says Reno Hightower. Pescadillo Joe, or Pescado Joe. Sorry, is that fish? Thank you for the $4.99, Joe. Underrated. Stevie Ray Vaughan. Under. Heath Ledger's Joker. Over. Anal. I have no experience in that area. I cannot offer an opinion. Your take is appreciated. Also, Billy West was underrated as a Howard Stern contributor. I would say yes. Here's the thing, Joe. I don't know that he was underrated at the time. I do know that when people talk about the great pantheons and the eras of Howard Stern, he gets completely overlooked, which is wrong, because he really set a pretty high bar at the start, did Billy West. And then he jumped in for John Kricfalusi. Don't get me started. Our good friend and auto body expert Aku Mugen is here, celebrating 3 months of blissful content. Here's to many more. Thank you, Aku. I appreciate that. So we're going to just mark Tom Cruise down as overrated because you guys think he's overrated. Did you guys see the movie American Made that he was in? It's really good. It's about the drug cartels and gun running and Noriega and all that and the CIA. It's super good. I highly recommend it. And one of my favorite movies, and definitely my favorite science fiction movie that deals with the concept of time travel, Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt. That's an incredibly good movie. It's so good. All I ask is just reconsider Tom Cruise a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. That's all. Item number 2 today on Overrated, Underrated is something I hear more and more about all the time. It has become pervasive. People that are supporters of it are fanatical about it. I think I could do it if I had to, and I've seen it done. Maybe we need to tap the brakes a little bit, and that is, yes, ladies and gentlemen, pickleball. Pickleball, overrated or underrated? Meanwhile, Aku Mugen says, the Oscars have changed the rules on nomination. Now, it's not based on actual content, but if your staff is representative of people's, yes. And they also nominate 10 movies now for Best Film. It's like, that's a little excessive. Gene1313 says, oh, no. Oh, no. Overrated. Pickleball is overrated. That is an actual pickleball paddle, and those are the balls that you play pickleball with. Pickleball is kind of like if you played ping pong on a tennis court with the net on the ground. It's a really low net, and Uh-oh, can you hear it? Yeah, and the balls are made of wiffle balls. What's pickleball? Well, like I just mentioned, Aku, you play with these paddles. I think it's singles or doubles. I think it's mostly doubles. And it's kind of on a tennis court. You can't, it's almost like volleyball in that you can't let the ball hit the ground. And like I said, the net's kind of low, and that's what it is. Gene says, I have lost friends over this game. Well, if older people can do it, I don't know that I'm that interested in it. It seems like every lady my age I meet is crazy about pickleball. Alternative lifestyles tennis, yes. And the chef is in the house. That's pickleball, but everybody's crazy for it. And let me tell you how pickleball got invented, because I did do a little research. These two guys went out to play golf, and they left their wives and children on this dude's kind of like small farm or whatever. They went out and golfed. They came back and they were drunk, and the kids wanted something to do. There was a badminton net that was up. So they lowered the badminton net, got a couple wiffle balls, nailed together some pieces of wood to form paddles, and that is how pickleball began. Rumpled Trenchcoat says, the explanation of pickleball rules sounds like a drunk guy making up a new game based off of other better games. Rumpled, you figured that out without knowing the actual story. That's actually what did happen. That's the exact thing that happened. Two drunk guys came home from golfing. Everybody was complaining to them. They wanted something to do. They dropped a badminton net to the ground, nailed together a couple paddles, got some wiffle balls, and said, have at it, kids. How do you not break those balls? Those balls are super hard. That's how. They are. They're very, very, very hard. Reno Hightower says, pickleball overrated only because it's a fad. I don't like fads. It's a growing, I can tell you that. Hako said I'd rather play full contact mini golf. I would actually pay to see full contact mini golf. That actually sounds like a fun game. Julian Caesars had never tried pickleball, but pickleball courts around here are always crowded. Yeah, crazy. Rumple said, I laughed when I heard the real answer was my joke response. That's the real thing, you know. I'd rather have a heart-to-heart with my pet rock. It's all the rage, man. It's all the rage. Oops. Sorry. Item number 3, overrated, underrated. I think we've all decided that pickleball is overrated. Item number 3, overrated or underrated, pie. Pie. I am showing apple pie here, but this can be any pie that is baked with a crust. I don't want to get into crazy off the Eskimo pie. No, pie that is baked with a crust. Overrated or underrated? I'll give you my answer right now. Overrated. Pie is severely overrated. Just give me the stuff that's in the pie. I don't need the crust and the lattice work and all that. And Robert Trenchcoat says pie can never be praised enough. Julian Zeder says not a fan of pie unless it has meat in it. Meat pies can be good. I like a pecan pie, and I like a strawberry pie, and a strawberry pie isn't even a frickin' pie. It's a baked pie crust with strawberries and syrup poured in it, and then whipped cream on the top. It's the underrated. Anything but apple. Wow. Aku says, just so you know, Tom, full contact mini golf means everyone plays at the same time. And so long as you aren't hitting, you can use your ball to send a friend sailing. I thought you could tackle people. Pie is great unless it's lemon. What about, so lemon meringue you don't like. Key lime pie. I've had the good key lime pie before. Pies are good. Chicken pot, blueberry, or pumpkin. Yeah, I don't know that chicken pot's on the list, but if you offer me a cherry pie or a cherry cobbler, I'm going cobbler every time. Same goes for blackberries, blueberries, you name it. Oh, we have a chef in the house. Chef Randy says, some people call pizza pie. Does that count? No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about your typically fruit, sometimes pumpkin, sometimes pecan, kind of your Marie Callender's. Aku says, found out recently rhubarb is a vegetable. Still enjoy a strawberry rhubarb crumble. Well, that's the thing about rhubarb. Rhubarb is just there to kind of take up space and soak up whatever flavor. And there's a real serious art to making a rhubarb pie. It's not easy. Rumple Trenchcoat says, to be fair, my favorite pie doesn't really have a crust on top like lemon meringue or chocolate pudding pie, etc. Yeah, see, there's a lot of pies that are just stuff in a pie crust. Like you can just eat chocolate pudding. SG Family says, I don't like anything with a marshmallow-ish consistency. SG Family, I'm with you. And I'll add to that I don't really like marshmallows to begin with. I don't like anything with a marshmallow taste. $5 cherry pie for Stacy Allen. I don't really know the rest of the... Stacy doesn't come in here anymore. She got mad because I called her a know-it-all. Custard cream pie. Yeah, see, you can have custard and cream. Aku, yes. The best. Terry Nee says, tofu. I don't even know what that is. But pie I think we got about a 50-50 here on pie. And incidentally, unless pie has whipped cream on it, just count me out. Count me out. You know what? Here's another thing. Not just in my family, but certainly in my family on my mother's side. All the women who baked pies, and they all did, would say, if I'm making one pie, I'm making two. And so anytime any of them made a pie, they made two pies. And I never found out, like, is that a culinary reason? Is it because they sell the ingredients that you make? I don't know. SG Family says, cheesecake is better, though. Yeah, especially that cheesecake we were showing Monday when we talked about pinup models. You know what I'm saying? I know you know what I'm saying. Akumugan says, crumble with a maple pecan ice cream scoop. Maple pecan ice cream's pretty damn good, man. I'm telling you what. Yeah. That Haagen-Dazs vanilla butter pecan is good too. Underrated. Aku says, wait, Tom, you could make a poll for us to answer. I know, but I don't want to make 7 polls. I'll try and do that next time. Let me see here. I think I have to go over into YouTube to do that. I don't think I can do that from StreamYard. I'll figure out how to do it, and I'll do it next time, Aku. I was thinking about that today, and I'm like, to do it 7 times. Let me see if there's a way for me to do that. Background, music, banners, comments. I don't think there's a way for me to do that unless I go do it in YouTube. Next time. Aga says, does a butter tart count as a very small pie? No, it doesn't. Rumble Trenchcoat said, I could eat a shoe with maple pecan ice cream on it. I know it. There was a period of time in my life, and by the way, I'm not, is a calzone a pie? No. No. Look, guys, it's not that hard. This is a pie on the screen. It's a thing with a crust on the bottom. It can have a crust on the top or not. It usually has fruit, although not always. Yeah. What was I about to say? Oh, yeah, it was a time in my life, I'm not very proud of it, where way too many times a week, I was walking down to, there was a QT now where I lived, and I was getting one of those little pint things of Haagen-Dazs, like 5 or 6 times a week. And it was always butter pecan, vanilla bean, maple. Oh, God. So good, but so bad for you. Reno Hightowers, a poll would do away with interactive chats. Poll would also do away with my ability to just kind of make up what I think the answer should be. Lasagna? No, lasagna is not pie. Tom's a pie purist. I don't know if I'm a pie purist. I'm just talking about your mom baked it. If we want to get into turkey pot pies and all the meat pies, I'm trying to keep it simple. And then hobos steal them off windows. Exactly, Gene 1313. And the reason that they steal them off the windows is little smell lines come drifting in, and that's how they know about it. Mint chocolate chip supremacy. Mint chocolate chip is killer. Strawberry with the real chunks of strawberry is good. Aku says, I only recently tried pistachio gelato. I'm not a fan of gelato. I'm a huge fan of pistachio. Whites only pies. I don't know what those are, but I do know this. I've been getting those pre-shelled pistachios that are chili flavored. Oh my God. Those don't last more than a day or two in here. Randy says, like you said, strawberry pie is number one. Strawberry pie is so good. Joker said, what if you took a pie crust and put Caesar salad in it? Is that a pie? No, it's not. Every year in our family, we got to pick our birthday cake, and I would never pick a cake. I would always pick a strawberry pie. Item number 4, pies, by the way, it's a push. It's a tie. Pies, much loved, much hated. A taco is sort of like a pie. Shaky pie is my favorite. If you've ever seen the movie Gator, I have seen Gator. That was a follow-up movie to White Lightning. SG Family says Whites Only Pies is a reference to the movie Life. Oh, I did not know that. Cherry pie. What about those Hostess pies? Those little... I like a good pie fight at a fancy party. Me too. Item number 4 on Overrated, Underrated this week. I give you SUVs. Are they overrated or are they underrated? The SUV. I'll tell you what I think. I think they are massively overrated. When SUVs really were SUVs and you only owned one because only like 3 people made them, Jeep and maybe Subaru and maybe International Harvester, and you were off-roading and camping and terraining, awesome. You should have an SUV. People that aren't even going to drive off of their driveway onto some grass, You don't need an SUV. You really don't. All you do is block everybody's ability to see traffic. That's it. That's all you do. I like the old days when we had station wagons instead. Lowered to the ground. They went, anyway, that's what I think. Let's see. Overrated. They're overrated. They're underrated if you have kids. Now, why wouldn't you just get a van? Just saying. Overrated. Overrated. Me too, Joker. But it's so hard getting the cream off my monocle. Your monocle. And your fancy cigarette holder. CRVs are too. You're darn right. Those are also overrated. Hummers were awful to be around. Yeah. Well, Hummers weren't even for people that wanted SUVs. I mean, Hummers were for people when they first came out that wanted people to know how much money they had. That was it. Because they were stripped down on the inside and uncomfortable to ride in, frankly. Because vans are gay. Minivans are. Big old tricked out, customized magnesium wheel, stereo, diamond in the back, sunroof top, digging the scene with the gangster lean. Base level trucks are useless. Well, a lot of these people that get these giant pickups, giant SUVs, they're never going to haul anything. They're just, you know. Oh, that is funny, Rumple. SG Fanboy says, not that there's anything wrong with that. Good, because there's not. Jokerfish says, are Jeeps SUVs? They're kind of silly. The old school Jeeps, like World War II Jeeps, you could make a case that they're not, but certainly the Jeeps that came out, you know, sort of after that, those are SUVs. They are. And they're totally overrated. You know, unless you're four-wheel drive going places, unless you live out in the mountains, and you know, if you're a suburban housewife or some tool that drives to an office every day and you got to have this giant, I'm not even talking about the fuel consumption because I don't care about that. I just care about people on their phone looking around, blocking the road for everybody else. You can't see a thing they're doing. Riding their brake light because they want to follow the car in front of them, you know, 3 feet from the bumper. And you got to wonder if they're stopping full on, you know. Rumpled Trenchcoats say, we get a ton of snow, so the SUV helps carry the family around, but I'd still put them as overrated. Hey, if you got a functional reason to have one, awesome. But if you don't, I mean, do you need one here in Dallas, Texas? Aku says, the recent increase of vehicle size due to emissions, larger vehicles mean more CO2. They do. Fanboy says, the douchebags with the extended mirrors stuck out infuriate me. Oh, yeah. Yeah, those babies got to stick out in your lane. I have noticed something that didn't used to be before cell phones. And there's so many distracted drivers out there, man. I'd say that at least half of them. And there's a thing that goes on now where there'll be a car in front of you. Say you're on a 2 or 3 lane city street. And let's call it 3 lane. And I'm in the middle lane. And on my right, up in front of me, slowing down a little because they're not really paying attention to the speed. There's a car that's also drifting over into my lane. Not moving into my lane, mind you, but just kind of off askew, a foot and a half in my lane. You give them a little honk like, hey, I'm here, and then they're mad at you. Why? Disturb their conversation. How dare you? SUVs overrated. I'm going to give you item number 5 now. I thought long and hard about this one. I think I know what the answer is going to be and what it should be. Item number 5, I give you duct tape. Duct tape, overrated or underrated? I personally believe there's really only one answer to this question, but I wanted to give you, the viewer, the opportunity to weigh in and let me know what you think. I have so many duct tape stories, it's not even funny. Absolutely a million. Joker says that duct tape is underrated. And Gene says duct tape is underrated. And Karen Garvey says Werner Herzog has a great documentary about texting and driving from 1 second to the next. I definitely have to check that out. Thank you, Karen. I'm a huge Werner Herzog fan. Ariana says duct tape is appropriately rated. SG Family says overrated. Stop being so lazy and fix it. Well, that's not duct tape's fault. You can't blame duct tape for people being too lazy to do other things. Julian just said duct tape seriously overrated because there are so many other types of tape that are more appropriate to use in certain situations. Okay, that makes sense to me. Gene1313 says it's God's gift to the world. Karen Garvey says underrated. Duct tape can fix anything. Laughing at fanboy there. Oh, by the way, we do have a request. If you could like, share, subscribe, notification bell, retweet, all of those free things you can do to help us with the almighty algorithm, the all-powerful algorithm. We also have super chats and memberships. If you'd like to avail yourselves of those, our goal each night is any amount of money. We've shattered that goal tonight. Shattered it, I tell you, with Pescado Joe donating $5. So there you are. Yes. And here's what I would say about duct tape that makes it underrated, not overrated, is that for people who do not have a great deal of Mr. Fix-It skill or experience, duct tape can actually help them bridge the gap till somebody can actually fix the damn thing. You know what I mean? It's like, this isn't a permanent fix, but for right now, use duct tape for many things, even medical emergencies. Yes. Yes. Duct tape overrated. Gorilla tape underrated. I am willing to say that Gorilla tape is highly underrated. It really is. Gorilla tape's some good stuff. Dash cams underrated. Aku, I would have a dash cam if there was an easy, good way for me to affix one without having to run a wire inside my car somewhere. I do not drive a Jaguar to have some jacked up wires hanging places. But probably I'm wrong, and every car should have a dash cam. Every car should have a dash cam. People saying hi. People saying hi. We do have the most cheerful chat room on the internet. It's verified by independent sources. Joker, people saying hi. Let's see here. Rumble, I think it's amazing, but it's so revered. I have to wonder if it's overrated, but I sure do love it. I think a lot of things are in that category. It's like, well, something can be, excuse me, super awesome and still be overrated. Maybe duct tape's one of those things. Maybe. People saying hi. Julian Zezer says, this car on my street has so much duct tape on it that it's become a neighborhood joke. It's a 1998 Ford Duct. People saying hi. Aku says, as a body man, I've ran into the scene of a color match fender bumper to fender full of Bondo and over layers of, I bet you've seen it all, man. Dig under there, and it's like an onion. Just layer after layer of bad fixes. Joker says, I agree, Tom. Front and back cameras. front and back, and if possible, inside the car. Inside the car. But what do I know? So surprisingly, we have a contingent of people who feel that duct tape is overrated, which is a little surprising to me, but everyone gave good reasons. I do think that the majority of people here, though, believe it to be underrated. This could be controversial, this next one. It really could. I thought twice about even including it. But not one to run away from a fight. The Tom Gulley Show gives you item number 6. Puppies. Puppies. Overrated or underrated? My good friend SG Fanboy says, Aku had a friend that painted houses. He called that a hot patch. Yeah, hot patch. That's... SG Fanboy says that puppies are underrated. Julian Caesar says depends on how you cook them. SG Fanboy says man's best friend. Well, technically, SG, dog is man's best friend. And though I guess technically puppies are dogs, I think puppies become dogs. So that's... I don't know. Akko says dash cams should not be hardwired in. Just so makes replacement easier. Mine sits behind the rearview mirror and has only 3 inches of visible wire. Yeah, I'm not having 3 inches of visible wire on my Jaguar. Just not doing that. Ain't happening. Oh, maybe I'll figure a way one of these days. Underrated. Puppies so far are underrated. Man, puppies are the best thing on this entire planet, says Ariana May. Well, you guys are going to hate my opinion on puppies. But, Julian, oh my God. That is funny, Julian. Mobile Trenchcoat says, underrated. Look at those little faces. Yeah, they look like they just chewed up something important. Joker says, you got to train the puppies to become dogs. Dogs forever. And Randy says, I'm a cat man. That's why I'm going to Catmandu. Never mind. I'm a dog person. Joker has it right. If you really devote yourself, like the first 6 months that you have a puppy, to training it, to spending a lot of time with it. For the first 6 months, you will probably have to do very little training after that. If you don't do that, you will be training your dog for the rest of your life. So, my objection to puppies is people lose their nuggets a little too easily when they see puppies, saying, look, it's a baby dog. It's not a big deal. And puppies are just too much a lot of the time. Yeah, they're fun for a while and stuff, and then you're like, okay, I'm done. And the puppy's not done for 5 more hours. And you walk in your bedroom and you find out some important thing is now chewed into a million pieces. It's been teething on your remote. SG Fanboy says, I had a one-eyed beagle in my late teens, early 20s. He was the best. He was the best. They are man's best friend, SG. You are correct. You are correct. Karen Garvey says, are those puppies sitting on a grill? They are right now. We haven't lit the grill yet. They are right now. We haven't put them on the kebab skewers yet. Sorry. Julian Caesar says puppies are a liability. People will break into your house to steal them. Every dog is a puppy. That said, I prefer cats. I can't stand cats. Cannot stand cats. SG Fanboy says, I won't say how he lost his eye. Let's just say he only crapped on my floor once. Ruffled Trenchcoat says, combine duct tape with puppies to keep them out of your important stuff. Yeah, it's the old thing. It's your fault. It's my fault. Shouldn't have left that stuff out where the humans live. All right. This one may be controversial as well. Item number 7, and our final item tonight on Overrated, Underrated. I give you the popular television series, The Big Bang Theory. Is it overrated or underrated? The Big Bang Theory. Aku says it is overrated. Overrated. SG Fanboy says, hated it. Gene says, overrated. Man. Rumpled Trenchcoat says, overrated. Joker says, overrated. Ariana May says, overrated. Karen Garvey says, overrated. Julian Caesar says, never saw it. Aku says, over. Dupa says, I saw it twice. Over. Well, I think you guys are all in agreement. Overrated. Now, let me tell you why you're wrong. I'm kidding. I like the Big Bang Theory. I think the Big Bang Theory is excellent. It is like a lot of things that Chuck, whatever his name is, creates, 2.5 Men. It is very high quality, mindless entertainment. Okay. Doesn't ask a lot out of you. Benignly witty. Okay. And then that's fine. And Big Bang Theory did a great job of championing nerds and nerd culture and all, and there's some good things there. However, the reason I think it's overrated is people made too big of a deal out of it. It was just too much. It was like, hey, look, it's a pleasant, nice, well-done show. And ain't the end of the world. It's, not Citizen Kane. Overrated. Try to watch it without the laugh track. I didn't know it had a laugh track. Boo this man. Oh, yeah, Chuck Lorre. Doopa-doopa-doo gives me 5 tomatoes and a wink. Maybe they're rotten tomatoes. I don't know. Randy says it's one of his favorite shows. A lot of people really like it. Aku says it had moments, but it felt like the jokes were constantly slamming shins into the coffee table. Well, it's about nerds. If I wanted to watch a nerd, I'd sit in front of a mirror. Well, it's about glamour nerds. It's about, astrophysicists and things like that. But they just made too much of a big deal out of it. Joker says they made nerds cool in the 80s. Revenge of the Nerds, Square Pegs, the TV show. The song Hip to Be Square. I know. But then nerds went out of favor for a while. And these nerds weren't just like run-of-the-mill, average, everyday, garden variety nerds. These were your upper echelon. There's a lot of nerds. See, when they glorified nerds and they made nerds cool, they were nerds you wouldn't mind being. It's like, wow, that guy's super smart and has a great, successful job and blah, blah, blah. They didn't make being picking your boogers on your live stream John Melendez nerd tool. That didn't get made cool. They didn't cool that up, Daddy-O. Oh, dear. I do love Sheldon. I got to say, I do love the character of Sheldon. He's so transparently self-involved at all times. And that's always a good character for a sitcom. Always. Always. Akum Mugen says, to be fair, I'm not one for TV shows, nowadays especially, without yelling at the TV due to dumb plot holes. Well, I think probably another reason I'm a little more partial to Big Bang Theory is it's one of the many shows, Two and a Half Men, even Seinfeld, that I didn't watch when they were popular. Did you guys hear that? Anyway, Randy said, sorry, Joker says, Big Bang was the nerd version of Friends. Joker, that's actually an extremely good analogy. That's a very, very appropriate analogy. Gesundheit, bless you. That's the second time this week I've had to sneeze during the show. Maybe I have a disease. SG Fanboy says, I like things more along the lines of Arrested Development and Curb Your Enthusiasm. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Or The Office. But I like to binge watch. And so a lot of these shows, The Office is one of them too. I didn't watch them once till they were over. And now I just watch these giant streaming marathons of them. You know, if you don't really want to get involved with anything and just want to sit there and giggle like an idiot, those are good shows. Aku says, like watching an Escalade slam through a fence undamaged, knowing that the fence would severely damage the front end. Yeah, there's a lot of that going around. Karen Garvey said, the only time I yelled at the TV is when Walter White killed Mike Ehrmantraut. Yeah. There was a point in Breaking Bad where I was like, Walt, you really think you're the baddest badass of all time, and you're not. By a long shot. Ask Hank about that. Yeah, when he killed Mike, it was just nothing but ego, and Mike was right about that. Married with Children, there's a good one. There's 2 spinoffs. UK or US Office. I'm partial to the US Office just because I've seen it more. More access to it. Which Office? Schitt's Creek's really good too. Let's see. I like both, but UK is best. I really can't speak on the UK one because I just haven't seen it. I think maybe seen one episode, maybe not even a full episode. Aku said, great minds think alike, SG, but so do damaged ones. Jokerfish says, I didn't watch Breaking Bad. I don't like drugs. Well then. SG Family said, Karen, Mike had a great line, though. Shut the blank up, a-hole. Just let me die in peace. This was all about you. We had a good thing going, but you couldn't let it go. Anyway, a lot of people like the UK. Schitt's Creek is super underrated. It really is. So is Portlandia. Akka said, Joker, wait a few years, might change your mind. Well, Ariana May. Yes. Yes. Everyone say, good night, Gracie. Good night, Gracie. Hey, couldn't watch the USA version of The Office, saw the UK first. Oh, okay. Say goodnight, Gracie. I think they're both probably really, really good. I have the box set of his show. I'd be willing to bet, unless Rumpled is still in here, none of you have heard of. And it was a show from the very late 70s, maybe got into the early 80s. It was called, and I think it was only on for 2 seasons, maybe 3. And I have all of the episodes. And it was starring an actor by the name of Dabney Coleman, who just passed away in the last year or two. And it was called Buffalo Bill. And it was about the host of a midday TV show in Buffalo, New York, who was totally, shamelessly self-involved. And if you ever get a chance, I would. It's the kind of show that I would imagine the episodes are on YouTube. Give them a look. The Office was The Office. U.S. Office was good until Steve Carell left. Wagon came off the wheel a little bit at the end there, but not that bad. Jokerfish says Major Dad. That's not Dabney Coleman. That's somebody else. It's what's his name? They look kind of the same though. Ariana May says It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is a good one. That is a good one. Rumpled Trenchcoat, good. He's here. He's a fellow TV freak from back in the day. I think Buffalo Bill was ahead of its time. I agree with you 100%. And it's kind of where Gina Davis got her start. But it was severely ahead of its time. I'm going to have to watch all those again. Somebody needs to go online here and tell everybody where they can see those episodes for free. I would imagine they're on YouTube, but maybe they're not. Maybe they're on Hulu or Tubi or Crackle or whatever else. Always Sunny is super fun. Always Sunny is brilliant. Really is brilliant. Aku says, who is the stunt guy who did his own stunts way back in the day? Scene I'm thinking of was him in front of a train repairing the tracks. Are you talking about Super Dave Osborne? Major Dad was Gerald McRae or McRae. Yeah, that's who it was. Buster Keaton? The History of White People in America, anyone? Oh, yeah, that was great. It had Fred Willard and Edie McClurg and tons of people. Yeah, The History of White People in America is very funny. That was like an HBO or Showtime production, I think. It was really funny. From Simon and Simon. Yeah, Gerald McRae was Major Dad from Simon and Simon. That's right. I saw him on something else recently. Nowadays, all he he was in the A-Team movie with Liam Neeson and those guys. And now all he ever plays is a sheriff, a general, or a guy that works for a military contracting firm. Let's see here. She said, I had my hand. Oh, my God. Colt Seaver of the Fall Guy. Tonight, Colt finds out that Halloween isn't all tricks and treats on the Fall Guy. Kolchak was a fun show. Kolchak, The Night Stalker, starring Darren McGavin. If you really are into Kolchak, The Night Stalker, starring Darren McGavin, they have an extremely active and extremely awesome Facebook page. It's crazy how many people are into that show. It's man, they are all over that show. Aku says, I'm of the opinion that most superhero TV shows should be animated. I used to be of that opinion, but I'm not anymore because the CGI is too good. Yes, Buster Keaton. Yeah, Buster did his own stunts, but so did Harold Lloyd and everybody else back in that era. Yakima Canute. Look that one up. Gene1313 says, love that show. And Gene13 says, I am on it. And he's on it. Probably nobody grew up at the Indy 500 like I did. They don't really know what "and he's on it" means. Tom Sneva comes out of the second turn, going into the short chute in the last straightaway, and he's on it. Took me almost a whole show to finish one of these. That indicates to me I'm not crazy about the flavor. It's okay. If you want something cold, fine. Otherwise, wait it out for a real drink. But I got like 7 of these left, or however many. Aku said, I said most. I was very disappointed by the Flash and Green Arrow series. Wouldn't mind a live-action Samurai Jack. I wouldn't mind a live-action Johnny Bravo. Isn't that guy Yakima a stuntman? Yakima was a stuntman and an actor and a director. He was a very, very well-recognized director as well in early Hollywood. John Wayne learned a lot from him. He was a compatriot and running buddy of John Wayne and John Ford. It's overrated? What's overrated? Not Buffalo Bill. Buffalo Bill is underrated. My to-watch list just grew. Good. Glad I'm not the only one. Those taste like a creamy ginger snap. I'm not as familiar with the taste of a ginger snap as I should be, but I don't know what the hell happened in my mouth after I drink one of those. I get the chocolate at first, then I get some Coke, but not a lot, and then it's over. I don't know. Oh, the soda was overrated. I don't know. I would call it definitely overrated if there was more fanfare for it. I didn't really hear any great and glorious try this. But I'd say it's overrated just because they made it. Opposite. Also, I started a Dr. Pepper wine, Tom. I don't know why, but that sounds good. And I don't drink. Joker said, Buffalo gals, why don't you come out tonight? Come out tonight. Come out tonight. And dance by the light of the moon. What'd you say what'd you wish for when you threw that rock? I'll do it, Mary. I'll throw the lasso around it. No. August says, depending on how it turns out, I'll be making another from the strawberry and cream. Oh boy, I bet you that strawberry and cream be good. Good wine. Oh, I made some good wine. Karen Garvey says, Dr. Pepper wine. Yes, he's making a Dr. Pepper wine, and then he's going to make a Dr. Pepper with strawberries and cream soda one. Then he's going to make a Mountain Dew wine. Depending on when I get home, I'll be loading a Mountain of Dew. Oh, there he said he loaded a Mountain Dew. I did not know that. I predicted that. I was psychically channeling into that. Oh, my God, we're so far over time. We are so frickin' far over time. Hey, tonight on the show, I want to thank a guy I don't know that's ever been in here before. But I do appreciate his support and him dropping in here. And please come back anytime. He was our loan donator tonight. He shattered our goal of any amount of money, and that's Piscato Joe. Thank you, Piscato Joe, for being here for Overrated, Underrated. Root beer wine. It has sugar and water. I can make alcohol from it. I like that. I like that attitude. Right on, Piscato Joe. Piscato, what's something, I don't know. Any old way. Hey, kids, tomorrow night's a Friday night show. I wrote it down here because somebody came up with it. Oh, yeah. You know what? Guess what tomorrow's show's on? Guess what the topic for tomorrow's Friday night show? God knows how we love to do those. Tomorrow night's show will be on porta potties, as long as it doesn't have certain preservatives in it. Well, I think anybody that knows me knows that I, for many years, have been an opponent of certain preservatives. Good night, everybody. This is Jokerfish. Have a good night, says our good friend, the lovely and talented Karen Garvey. Aku says, I want to try making white wine from Sprite for a laugh. Man, you could make $1 million with that. You really could. With all that being said, I'm going to see you guys tomorrow night, man. Thank you guys so much for being here. It means the world. We're struggling. We're trying to make this a bigger show. And if it wasn't for you guys, there wouldn't be any reason to try. So thank you. And have a good Thursday night. And with all that being said, I think the only thing left to say is, till next time, we'll see you next time.